'Tis the season for Game of the Year, so I'd like to talk about a game that won't be in any such list for 2020, because it wasn't released this year. But it has been important to me over the last few months, so important that I bought it twice. It's tempting to start any piece looking back on 2020 with an intro about what a year it's been. A year that feels like it was made by CD Projekt Red, sold by Wish and delivered by Yodel. Simple things have become difficult. Navigating shops now feels like trying to escape a labyrinth, and it seems only a matter of time before I run into a Minotaur down the biscuit aisle. But there's been even worse consequences than battling mythical beasts for hobnobs. Even for people who happily describe themselves as introverts, not having just the option to mingle with friends and family has had some detriment on the poor old noggin for many. At many points I have felt like I was going slightly mad, but then again, the talking Russian cactus in my front room says I'm doing fine, so it can't be that bad. Before anyone jumps on their high horse and rides it to an ivory tower, these day-to-day woes aren't to play down any of the people who have had it much worse this year. The medical staff, teachers and other key workers who have ploughed on at even greater risk to their health than usual should never have to buy a drink again. But just because someone has it worse than you, it doesn't mean you have to suddenly feel fine. So, back to me. It's perhaps a bit late as a public service announcement, but I found a few ways to keep the talking cacti at bay. Turns out exercise is one of the best things you can do to ward off the big sad. Your brain is very much like reel to reel, in that they both like to move it. But what has this got to do with video games? Well, when Ring Fit Adventure was released on the Switch back in October 2019, it was a curiosity for many and the logical progress of Nintendo's determination to stop us sitting on our asses quite so much. I always like to imagine Nintendo as reluctantly successful, like Dr. Frankenstein, like they basically created the modern video game industry, but they now deeply regret it and are constantly trying to undo all the damage caused. You want to buy the new Nintendo console? Good luck, because they only made 7. You want to stay in, sit still, and play video games? Well, here's the hottest new release where you have to do a backflip just to access the menu options. That isn't in Ring Fit, by the way, but it's only a matter of time. Anyway, I bought Ring Fit, including the leg strap and squishy Pilates ring accessories, on release and loved it, so much so that I sold it to a friend a few months later. See, the game had reignited my love for exercise, and as a result I rejoined the gym and was generally having a smashing time. And you all know what happened next. To tell what actually happened in 2020 would be like Hollywood relaying Spider-Man's origin story all over again. However, slipping out of the exercise habit, as many did with the new restrictions, and feeling lower for it, I was unable to find another copy of Ring Fit. Seemingly, everyone had the same idea, and Nintendo's strange little game with the squishy ring had become more of a lockdown essential than bog roll and conspiracy theories. Even now, with gyms generally open again, many people are choosing to stay at home for their workouts, as the average gym is looking even less appealing than a sweaty box full of narcissists usually does. But, thanks to a heads up from the ever-watchful editor of NGB, I finally secured another copy of the game and accessories during the original lockdown. See, I've tried before to have a home workout routine with little success. If you're listening to this, you're probably like me, and for whatever reason, be it a goal-orientated personality, a love of interactive storytelling, or just a hobby you've got into at an early age, things make sense to you when they're gamified. If I sit up in my living room with the intention of lifting some dumbbells, I'll likely make it all of 5 minutes before doom scrolling Reddit or deciding to see if I'm still rubbish at Rocket League, and spoilers, I always am. I need some external stimuli to keep me motivated when it comes to exercise, be it being surrounded by other people doing the same at a gym, or a talking golden ring telling me my sweat is shiny and beautiful. Yeah, it's a strange game, and a talking ring really does tell you that your sweat is shiny and beautiful, but only really in the sense that most RPGs are strange. After a fairly limited character creator section, you're thrown into an adventure set in a different world where enemies are defeated using a wide variety of home workout moves, and also everyone there loves smoothies. Motivated by the aforementioned talking ring, you must ultimately battle a big purple dragon with sick biceps and even sicker plans for the world. But that's not all. If you find the adventure mode a bit too silly, Ring Fit also has straightforward exercise options outside of this, allowing you to set up your own routines tailored to your abilities. You can even get some reps in using the ring accessory without having to turn the console on at all. The general progression and attitude of Ring Fit is spot on, as well as constantly impressing upon users the importance of a good diet, stretching before and after exercise, and knowledge of the body's muscles. It's a very supportive game. You're encouraged to go at your own pace, difficulty is hugely customisable and amendable at any time, and you're constantly given encouragement and reviews to show what you've achieved. This tailored feedback is something you don't really get just from doing workouts from a YouTube video, and the gentle, natural increase of difficulty is surprisingly deep. You'll be surprised how much benefit you can achieve from a couple of very basic looking accessories. Without Ring Fit Adventure, there is no way I'd have stuck to working out at home as often as I have, and I can only guess at the detriment this would have caused me over what have been some difficult times for almost everyone. Ring Fit isn't going to get you scouted out by WWE. Putting on serious muscle involves lifting cars and eating the equivalent of a battery farm every day. But for toning up, losing weight, and most importantly of all, getting that all-important rush of happy chemicals through your noggin, it's unrivaled during these dark times. So, Ring Fit Adventure. Not eligible for the real Game of the Year, but for me, no other experience has come close in terms of importance over a year that can only be described as f***ing whacking bollocks. Q 2020. Is your Game of the Year one that was not released this year, but has simply meant a lot to you during a frankly weird time? Let us know, and do all the usual like and subscribe stuff, you know how it is. Thanks for listening.